In this video, we are reapproaching the whole paradox of free will. As the title of this video may lead you to believe, I am going to use an analogy. I am going to be comparing reality with The Sims 3. In The Sims 3, your Sims have this program that is known as free will. Every Sim has this, what I would consider a limited version of free will. In other words, your Sims do not have to do what you tell them to do. At this point, I will be assuming that God does exist. Because, for one, I believe he exists, and for two, I don't want to get into a debate in this video on proving God's existence. This is not the purpose of this video. Anyways, the relationship between a Sims player and his Sims that he has created is, in my opinion, comparable to the relationship between God and the creation. Pretty much the difference is that a Sims player did not create the Sims. Creators of the Sims, EA, play the Sims, but Sims players did not create the Sims. That means a Sims player does not have a requirement to feel any kind of remorse for torturing his or her Sims. That doesn't mean they don't. Feel remorse for torturing their Sims, that is. Now, this free will programming that Sims have, it can be extremely irksome, but most players keep it on the high setting. I know I always keep it on the high setting, partly because it keeps your Sims from dying from what I would consider stupidity. Sims are actually stupid enough that they can literally die from stupidity. I've never seen this in a Sims game, but I've heard of Sims players watching their NPCs die from starvation because they won't stop working. That seems ridiculous, don't you think? This free will programming in the game, in my opinion, does come real close to what I think real free will would be like. And being a Sims player, there are 3 ways that you can play The Sims. Way 1 is to have everything planned out, which would be kind of a God's will thing. Way 2 would be to just go with the flow and just roll with the punches, pretty much. And way 3 would be a mixture of the first 2. The way I usually play it is way 3. That is because you can plan up to an extent. And that extent is usually to the point where the game's free will programming starts to tick you off. So pretty much, if real free will is anything like the free will in the free will programming in The Sims 3, then there is no paradox. In other words, God can have a plan, and there can be free will. And God's will and your will can both exist at the same time. There is no paradox if real free will is anything like the free will programming in The Sims 3. Okay? There. That is all I have to say. Bye.